So you are?
I'm Inspector Creed. I'm perfectly happy with you filming. No
Fine.
problem with you filming whatsoever.
Cool.
It's just the fact that you're on the police premises here.
Yeah,
and
but
we do ask the public to remain on the
Yeah,
public
there's no
area.
signage. There's no signage. There's nothing blocking me
Well, you've
from
just
stopping
come-
me from walking round.
Well, there is a barrier there.
Yeah, that's for
and there's
cars.
a fence there.
That's for cars. I didn't jump over anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can help you with at all?
Yeah, you can stop abusing my rights and let me film. That's what you said.
I'm not stopping you filming.
Okay, then.
No
well,
problem with you filming
Well, I
at
can
all.
film in the car park. There's nothing stopping me from filming in the car park.
As part of our insurance reasons, as well as the security of the site, we don't allow members of the public on here. So that's why I'm asking you to leave and move out onto the public area. You can either go out here, or you can go onto the public access area there. It's entirely up to you.
The inspector's first move is to accuse Yardley of being on private police property. However, Yardley quickly points out the weakness of that claim. There are no signs, no warnings, and nothing to show that the area is restricted. If a place is private, the public should be clearly informed. Without proper signs or barriers, people cannot reasonably know they are entering private land. The inspector then points to a barrier, but Yardley explains that it is only for vehicles, not pedestrians, and that he never climbed over or forced his way through it. Walking into an open, unmarked area is not the same as knowingly trespassing. Since the inspector cannot show any clear restriction, his argument falls apart. Yardley then moves behind a gate to the area the inspector himself said was acceptable for filming, where two officers immediately confront him.
Do your job first.
Well, I'm doing my job.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Step away, go away, get lost. I'm not listening to you. Do not talk to me. Listen, stop talking to me. No, I'm not going to listen to you. And if you touch me, right, that's going to be an assault as well. So just, look, you've got your hands up. You've got your hands up. Right, so excuse out of my way, please. Excuse out of my way. Excuse out of my way.
You can film. You can film.
Oh, listen to me. Please get out of my way. Please get out of my way. Get out of my way. Let me
Chief
pass.
Constable holds the right to restrict your access. Okay, you're more than welcome to film on the public bits, but we can't have you filming by the gate, obviously, because it's got a keypad. Okay, which is a private
I'm not listening to you, what you're saying. You're just talking. No, I'm not. You're talking to yourself, and I'm going forward. And I'm going forward. Do not listen. Listen, you're standing right in front of me. Right, so I'm. Why not?
Because it's an implied right of access.
No,
You have the
listen.
right
I've
to remove you.
got a no. I've got a right of access. I've been told. Okay, by an
Yeah, you
inspector. By an inspector.
And this right of
Okay.
access is now being revoked.
No, we'll go and get an inspector to revoke it because I've been told that I've been told by an inspector that I can film here.
I don't need an
No, well, I've been told that I can film here.
What I am happy
I've
to
been
do.
told. No. Listen.
told you what's upsetting you.
Nothing. Well, you're upsetting me because you're not doing your job. He just went and threatened me.
Right, but the reason I hear
No. He just went and threatened me.
The officers try to force Yardley away from the gate, even though he is standing on public land. One officer wrongly claims that implied right of access gives them the power to remove him. That is incorrect. Implied right of access applies when members of the public enter private property for a lawful purpose, such as walking to someone's front door. It does not apply to a person standing on public land. Yardley reminds the officers that the inspector had already confirmed he could stand there, which should have ended the discussion. Instead, the officer claims that permission has now been withdrawn. Even if that were true, only the landowner or someone with proper authority could remove access to private land. Since Yardley was not on private property, that argument had no legal basis. The officer's claim that he did not need the inspector's approval only highlighted how confused he was about the law.
He just went and threatened me. So you're telling me somebody can threaten you anywhere, but all you're worrying about is me not filming in a place of.
At the moment, yes.
Yeah. Why?
Correct.
Who started the initial crime? Who initially evoked a crime?
At the moment, I'm here because you're here.
No.
Filming in a place you're
Well, you
not allowed
shouldn't
to
be.
film.
You should be after that guy first because he's getting away. Who is he?
At the moment,
Who's that bloke?
I don't know.
Why don't you know that?
Because I don't work with him.
So how are you going to find him?
Well, we've got CCTV. I'll identify.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you will,
What
yeah.
I'm more concerned about at the moment.
No, I'm not going nowhere. I've
So
been
you
told that I
can't
can film it. I can.
You can, but you
I can
can't
film it.
here.
I can film it. No, and I'm telling you that I've been told by an inspector that I can film here.
inspector was it?
Okay, Inspector Creed. Okay? Now, off you go, because this is what he said, okay? I can film here. So unless another inspector comes down and wants to tell me that, No, I'm not going to take it from
I
you.
have the right to tell you if you can't film it.
No, you're not going to supersede the inspector because he told me that I can film it.
Okay, from my sergeant and from my inspector.
No.
I've been told
Which inspector? Who's the inspector?
Inspector Cutter.
Okay, where's Inspector Cutter?
He's in the building.
Okay, we'll go and get Inspector Cutter to come out and tell me.
Because I'm asking you.
No, and I'm politely refusing, and I'm declining because I've already been told by Inspector Creed that I can film here. So
we have.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Overrule that.
I don't believe you.
This conversation shows how far the officers were willing to stretch the facts. Yardley repeatedly explains that an inspector had already confirmed he could film from that location. Instead of accepting that, one officer claims that another inspector disagreed but refuses to bring that inspector out to confirm it. When Yardley again mentions Inspector Creed's permission, the officer says, "We have the right to overrule that." That is simply not true. A police constable cannot overrule an inspector's decision without proper authority, and no police officer has the power to make lawful public filming illegal. Recording in a public place is lawful, regardless of an officer's personal opinion.
Hey, do you know something? You're trying to talk, right? And I've already told you. No. It's not that you're making sense or not. I've already told you that I'm not allowing you to talk simply because I want you to do something which you haven't done. So therefore, by you carrying on with your waffle, right, I'm giving you that opportunity to talk. But I'm not going to give you that opportunity to talk, so I'm going to stop you right there. When an inspector comes out, then he can tell me that. I'll tell him that what Inspector Creed says. We'll have that discussion there. Because as far as I'm concerned, I have been given the right to film here. No, I'm not talking to you no more. I'm telling you. Right? I've just told you.
But why let's have a conversation?
Don't worry about it. All right?
I don't understand why you're being.
Because I want you to go and sort out this first thing. You're not doing it. You're not doing your job. You're standing there, wasting time, my time, your time, everybody's time.
What's the reason for filming here? That's what I don't think you can. But what's the reason?
Well, it'd be a bit hard to draw stuff, so I've got my camera out.
The body camera footage makes the situation even worse. The same two officers return and begin warning Yardley that he could be arrested if he refuses to leave. Rather than explaining any clear legal grounds, they rely on threats to pressure him into leaving an area where he was lawfully standing. Instead of resolving the situation professionally, they choose intimidation over proper policing.
What I'm saying to you, okay, all we need to know, or what we're happy with you doing, is filming, obviously, outside of the more public areas. That's absolutely fine. Don't stop you doing that, okay? All we ask, that under Section 68 of the Criminal Justice Public Order Act 1994, okay, is not to film...
Are you detaining me?
Not at the moment.
Are you giving me a caution? Stop telling me to listen.
I'll give you a warning.
Stop. No. Are you cautioning me?
I'm not cautioning you.
Well then, I don't want to hear no section, nothing. Am I doing anything wrong? Am I doing anything wrong? Am I doing anything wrong? Am I doing anything wrong?
Registration plates doing something wrong.
Listen, don't tell me that I was filming registrations plates, okay? Get some concrete evidence and then come and start telling me all these things. Otherwise, go away. You keep on, you just did.
I've said it under that section.
Under what section? A section what? Doing what?
Is if you begin to start filming registration plates, keypads, people coming in and out of the building, it's obstructing the day-to-day business.
No, it's not. I'm not obstructing anybody, and I can stand in. Get lost. Do you know something? I can stand in a public place and I can film whatever I want.
Yeah. And we can arrest you for aggravating trespass. Okay. Yes, we can.
Get lost. You can't.
Yeah, we can, and we will do if you carry on.
The officers then rely on Section 68 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act, but it clearly does not fit the situation. This law applies to people who trespass on private land with the intention of disrupting or preventing lawful activities. Yardley was standing on public land, quietly filming, and was not obstructing anyone. Recording vehicle registration plates is not illegal because they are displayed publicly by law. Suggesting that Section 68 applied here showed a serious misunderstanding of the legislation. Instead of admitting their mistake, the officers doubled down. When Yardley returned to the station to make a complaint, the very same officers arrested him under Section 68 just a few minutes later.
Do these questions relevant?
Just curious on how to treat you, what your experience is and what you may or may not know.
I'm not somebody who gets myself into trouble.
Okay, no, that's fine. Right, well, long story short, I'm the Classic Sergeant, so it's my job to look after you here, and I'm sure you're dealt with fairly as well.
Okay.
To that end, I'm going to ask obviously a few questions to find out why you're here, and I've got some questions for you, see how you're doing physically and mentally.
Okay.
Bearing in mind when I ask the officers about why you're here, that is them explaining why they've done what they've done. That's not an allegation to you for you to sort of necessarily reply to, okay? Because otherwise we'll end up in a conversation, I suspect.
Yardley's arrest under Section 68 did not stand up in court. Instead, it ended up costing the police force thousands of pounds, while Yardley received £1,500 in compensation. On top of that were legal fees, court costs, and other expenses, pushing the total bill close to £10,000 once VAT was included. The officers responsible did not pay those costs. The public did. Taxpayers were left paying for an unlawful arrest that could have been avoided if the officers had followed the law instead of letting pride influence their decisions. The entire case was unnecessary. If the officers had relied on facts rather than assumptions, there would have been no lawsuit, no settlement, and no waste of public money. Instead, they continued defending an arrest that had no proper legal basis until the case eventually collapsed. Settling became the only realistic option because defending the case in court would likely have cost even more. The facts were clear. Yardley was standing on public land, peacefully filming, and bothering no one. Trespass itself is normally a civil matter, and Section 68 only applies if someone is first proven to be trespassing on private land while intentionally disrupting lawful activity. Since Yardley was never trespassing, the legislation simply could not apply. He was not obstructing anyone, intimidating anyone, or interfering with police operations. The officers tried to stretch the law to fit a situation where it clearly did not belong, and the court recognized that. This incident highlights the danger of allowing personal frustration to replace proper policing. Yardley remained calm, respectful, and within his legal rights throughout the encounter. Meanwhile, the officers moved from one mistake to another until they finally carried out an unlawful arrest. Their actions not only damaged public trust but also resulted in compensation and legal costs that were ultimately paid by taxpayers. In the end, Yardley did more than win a legal case. He showed that police powers must always be exercised within the law. When officers exceed those powers, the courts can hold them accountable, and unfortunately, it is often the public who pays the financial price for those mistakes. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps me continue producing independent coverage. Also, be sure to check out Yardley Ski. The link to the channel is in the description, so show him some support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.